Okay, let's do this urgent real-time Bitcoin forecast. This is where we are, and now you see why you wouldn't long here. This is not a place to long. You can't see. You don't know why this is not a good place to long. I'm going to explain it to you in this episode of Urgent Real-Time Bitcoin Forecast. While I'm doing this, I've got both. The SEC. If I scream, it's because my knee is in huge pain because I ended up kneeing a punching bag that's outside my house. Not remembering that punching bags during the middle of the winter actually freeze and become a huge clump of ice, especially after it's been snowing and raining. Okay, so I'm monitoring this page and I'm monitoring this page for real-time updates. So this video might get cut short, but he's already about 15-20 minutes late. He was already supposed to have, according to Bloomberg, which is always wrong, have made an announcement 15 minutes ago. But so while we're waiting for Jerry Gensler to make an announcement, I'm going to explain why this is not where you should be longing. I'm not saying Bitcoin's not going to go up. I'm especially since what is it? BlackRock said that $20 billion or something is going to come into the Bitcoin ETF ecosystem. Yeah, what's funny about that is that they'll tell you, hey, we're going to buy $20 billion worth of Bitcoin, but they don't say how much they're going to sell first. I've never seen American institutions be so magnanimous and so kind and so generous as to announce their buys before they buy so that you can front run them and so that you can get richer than them. I mean, if you expect that to happen after all these years, there's not much I can do to help you. But I'm going to help you right now by explaining to you the landscape of what's happening right now and why this is not a really good moment to long. I'm not saying don't long Bitcoin ever. I'm saying wait for the right moment to long Bitcoin ever. Okay? Let's zoom out and see what's happening here. Here's the 3-minute. You can kind of start seeing what the bigger picture now. Here's the 5-minute, and you see something that looks like a rising wedge? What is that? Zoom out more. Lo and behold, we were zoomed into this section, and you can clearly see this is a double wick rejection it's a double top of some sort, but we're not sure what the larger overriding structure is. So let me zoom out further and show you what this is. This is a tweezer top of something else, bigger. Zoom out more. All right, now we're getting somewhere. And we're still not there. Finally, on the 2-hour, you're starting to get some hints. And yes, finally, on the 4-hour, you're getting the whole big picture. We have a rising wedge that's actually rising inverse head and shoulders. Rising inverse head and shoulders, the power, the pressure of a head and shoulders is all spent while going up. So what you want to see is a falling head and shoulders so that the pressure compresses, and then pow, like this. This is a falling head and shoulders. So the pressure compresses, and then boo, and then boo, and then boo. But this is a rising head and shoulders. It goes, and we are outside, and we already got rejected in the red circle. You want to zoom back in? Before I do that, let me show you the bigger picture here, real quick. Bam! And this now is the whole big picture, and you can see this price right now where we are is exactly also this neckline. This is a precise neckline drawn to the pixel. Literally, it's drawn to the dollar on Bitcoin, which is a 0.01% tolerance margin of error. Precisely drawn, and we are rejected from this neckline, and we are rejected from this rising head and shoulders neckline. We got a double rejection across double resistances. This is why I've labeled this as a neckline rejection of this particular neckline and a rising resistance rejection, which is this line. Twice, double. But doesn't it mean that if there's a rejection, can't we retest and retest again and finally just consolidate a little bit? Yes, we do have, if we're going to get, and I think we will, I'm sure we will, eventually. But the question is when, and can we get along in there with leverage? Can we get in with a 10% margin of error so that maybe we can do a 10x leverage? Can we get in with a 5% margin of error so that we can do a good 20x? What about a 1% margin error so that we can do a 100x leverage long? Is there a point where we can securely, that's what we're looking for. That's where you make the money. You don't make the money by buying here and holding for a whole year. Oh my God. If you're a business owner and you had $100,000, you could invest it in your business and you could have made $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 just by selling stuff, buying stuff cheap and selling it. Hell, you could have bought a machine. You could have bought a tractor. You could have bought a lawnmower and gone doing lawnmower service and made 5 times your money back. You only would have made about double your money in here, double, triple your money in there with Bitcoin. And you'd have to wait. Of course, it's passive, so you didn't have to do anything. You don't have to mow lawns or clean pools or anything. So, I mean, there's pros and cons, but there are better ways than just buying and holding Bitcoin to make double or triple your money. Much easier, better, faster ways. So what we're trying to do is not long at spot. What we're trying to do is find an exact entry point for 100x, 200x, maybe even a 300x leverage long. And looks like we're going to get that opportunity just because of the fact that we've got this happening. So since we got a rejection, we're going to go down. But how much farther down? How far down? And are we really going to get rejected, or are we going to do what we've done so many times before and just zigzag, zigzag, zigzag over time? And even if we do zigzag for the next couple days and then we just explode, which is possible. And I'm going to explore whether that's likely, though. It's possible, but is it probable? Right now in this scenario. And if it is, can we still find an entry for a 300x long? And the answer is already in here. The answer is already spelled out in here. Let's zoom in with me now. Let's go back in to this red circle. Zooming back in. Zooming back in. Actually, this is as far as we need to go right now. This is as far as we need to go. Are you starting to notice something? Do you see anything that tells you how far we might dip? If you've been around Bitcoin for more than a year, then you should be able to see how far we're going to dip, at least. This should be absolutely clear to you. Just by looking at this, you should go, oh, it is top, and we are going to dip. You should be able to see it. Do you not see it yet? You can't get around the discussion of Bitcoin without the term parabola. Bitcoin, parabola. Parabola Bitcoin. Everybody, are you starting to see it now? And what happens to parabolas? Hey, we just found a parabola and it printed a parabola. It's just going to keep going up. Has that ever happened? These are things you want to notice. These are things you want to notice. A parabola, the moment it's found, the moment it's discovered, it does this or it does that. Or these are things you should take mental notes of, because I found that most of you guys don't. It's like you go to Pattaya Beach and you find this really, really hot chick and you take her to your hotel room and you get a really rude awakening. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Pattaya Beach beautiful girls. And you'll see what I'm saying. What's even better is YouTube it. Pattaya Beach, Thailand. Beautiful sex workers. Just Google it. Anyway, you have to notice details. Otherwise, you're going to get really surprised when you get in bed. You see it now? I'll draw it in for you. And there it is. This was a parabola. We've already had a double blow-off top. I mean, these blow-off tops don't look like the old blow-off tops, but they're still blow-off tops. Look at that wick right above this neckline and this trend neckline. And we've already had a parabola. And what happens to parabolas? They do not continue. Parabolas do not continue. Parabolas do not continue. Parabolas do not continue. In order for a parabola to continue, you have to let's say there's a brand new buyer. It can. What would have to happen is you'd have to have some thick consolidation time that zigzags. And then what a parabola normally does from here is drop hard. If it doesn't drop hard and it starts zigzagging, you have to start considering the option, the reality, and the probability that there are new market entrants that are just ignoring the fact that we're gonna dump. They're like, no, I see some bigger catalysts. I'm gonna ignore this dump and I'm just gonna take this opportunity to buy. That happens, but that doesn't happen without giving us an advanced signal. And that advanced signal looks like zigzags in here. If there are no zigzags in here, and for now it's too early so that there's no zigzags, we have to assume that this thing is going to go down until it doesn't go down and there are zigzags. If there are zigzags in here, then we have to start saying, okay, maybe it's not going to go down. Maybe we start longing again and close our shorts in profit, because this thing's at least going to zigzag, so we can close our shorts a little lower here at least if it starts zigzagging. But we're just looking for consolidation. If there's no consolidation, then we hold our shorts, poof, and we continue down. How far down? Well, since BlackRock and everybody is being so nice to announce that they've got $20 billion worth of buy orders waiting, without mentioning at all how many sell orders they have waiting. But wait, BlackRock really cares about us. BlackRock wants us to be rich, so they're going to broadcast their longs before they buy, so that we can get in before them, and so that we can get richer than them. That's what BlackRock wants, right? BlackRock wants us to front run them. Have you noticed that I'm getting older just doing these YouTube videos? I'm just like, I look like what's that girl's name that the cat girl, that the singer girl that does all these weird songs, and now she's like, her eyes are lifeless and zombie dead. Anyway, she's got some really good songs. But yeah, I would never long the top of a parabola. When's the last time you longed the top of a parabola? I'll show you. Here, 2017, 2018, this was a parabola. And you longed at the top. And look, there's literally two spikes. This is the 2017 thing. This is $20,000 Bitcoin, and there's literally two wicks there. What about the next one? The next mini alt rush was the middle of 2019. You longed another parabola. This is a parabola. This is a 3-stage parabola, so it's a little harder to notice for most people, but you can still see the curve, right? You can still see the curve, the arch. Anyway, look. Lo and behold, we got another two. Bumps. Now, funny thing about this particular arrangement is, since this one, the second bump was higher, people started front running this one. The blow off top, they started selling before this thing even got higher. So people got smarter. Well, last time that happened, the second high was higher. So this time, let's just start selling early, is what everyone did. And then everybody else is waiting for this spot right in here. They never got their short orders filled right up in here. But there's two little things here now. Anyway, let's look at what's happening right now. And this one didn't even have two. This is just one big boof. This is because of was this because of 3 Arrows Capital, and this was like FTX or something? I don't remember anymore. Anyway, this is two. And then now let's just get back in here. And if we zoom right back in here, there it is. We have two really nice tweezer top wicks already. This is going to be a lot more visible if we get a big red candle straight down here, right? Which we don't right now, but it'll get visible. The trick is to see things before they become visible to everybody, right? Anyway, so yeah, it's okay to be long. But I just want you to know that you're going to be long after a double rejection. That's a tweezer top. That's a double rejection across two different necklines. That's a double rejection on top of a parabola, is where you're longing at the very tippy top of a parabola. If you're longing. And that's okay. That's totally okay. But it's not okay for me personally. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so if you want these signals literally directly so that you're not waiting a couple days or a couple weeks for me to get you these analyses, if you want these analyses every single day, 2-3 times a day, you're going to want to join our Discord community, private community, and it's right here. It's, where is it? Anyway, here's the address. ko-fi.com/OTC_Bitcoin. ko-fi.com/OTC_Bitcoin. Just remember, this is koreanfinance.com/OTC_Bitcoin. Join us there and get all these signals in real time, all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't even sleep. One of these days, I won't wake up. But until then, you're going to make a ton of money joining us, even though I don't go to sleep.